house. Big Zeus in the people's house. Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate, 1600 on the map. Supposed to be the people's house, I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers, I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Traveling for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the keys. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bags. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. And balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Probably selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Let's go. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK. Now it's photo ops, power plays. All day I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. People's house. Zeus. Powers in the air. Zeus. We knocking on the door. Zeus. You gonna hear your song? Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People wanna play it, yeah, I think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600 got your soul. My portrait on the wall, they staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told, I will ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark, making dreams come true. All I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but they don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So divine, no Jude, good morning. Nice to see you. Wow. Outside, and the gates is locked. This power never divides. Sitting for the block. Head busters make them wanna fight. Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, power's in the air. It's the people's house. They wanna know your door. It's the people's house. VIP. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. We are once again back in the Thunderdome. You know what we came to do. We got a cook and book, all right, and get up out of here on time, all right. But you know what? Let's get it started. Hope you all had a great weekend. Seriously. Oh, Cosmo, nice to see you. I knew you'd be back here to get your dose. All right. It's like a curse, and I can't escape it. It's like deja vu. Good morning, Rick. Nice to see you all. All right. It's deja vu when you missed me last week, well, you can see me this week. You know, I know a lot of us got to get out here and do what we got to do to take care. Glad you're here, though. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on top of my game, head in class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. The tank's full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Let's go. Hey, the algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we go with viral cause my zodiac. Let's go. Andrade. Okay, and she just wrapped it up. Well, even better. Thank you, Ann. Nice to see you. All right, let's do it together. Let's do it together. Here it goes. Here it goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone to Zeus's live in a couple of days. That shit was radical.
Keep it clean.
Snuggles. It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
You got me. I'm way off the rails. All right, fair enough. All right, W Zeus. WVIP, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're back. We're gathered in the Thunderdome. I'm your host, and I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here. Honestly, I do hope you all had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. Took some time off the app, got my mind right, but never let go of the, never took my eyes off the prize, so to speak, all right? But, you know, once again, we got to get back into business, and we got to start taking care of all the work it takes to save this great country of ours from guess who? Donald J. Trump and his legion of
MAGA demons who we all know and understand to be hell-bent on destroying this great country of ours. Now, before we get into that, let's take care of some very, very important housekeeping items, all right? And I got to do this every time because a lot of people, this is your first time listening to me. For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by the name. Good morning, Val. Nice to see you, brother Val. For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H, it's because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down, all right? And you got to be that way right now because when you look at what's going on in this country, you got to say, if you're not leaving it all on the court, then you're really not trying, right? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to, thank you. And sometimes that means going deep into a discussion. Honestly, and lately it's been happening a lot more with me. You're starting to find that I have to go deeper into these discussions, and I go, why do I got to go this deep? But I got to make my point, and that's how you win, right? The second H is because, it's because I'm humble. Now listen, we're all humans, right? So I understood one thing, and I've learned it since then, and I've been doing a great job at it. If I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize, all right? Because that's a sign of strength in my world. But, I get it. A lot of people think it's a sign of weakness, but not over here. We actually look at it as a sign of strength because you know what? When you know better, you do better. Am I right? All right? Yeah. All right, and then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which we all know is probably one of the most important H's of them all. And lately, I've been having to use it quite a bit, especially when I'm around, conservative women, because they see it. They see it when it comes, right? It's because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. There you go. First I go in there and they go, oh my gosh, they get started and then I like, but you know what? I'm not here to date. I'm actually here to save your souls. But you can look, but just don't touch, all right? Because we got to keep it clean. And, my mom's watching and stuff like that. And, people look up to me. And so I'm not here to date, but I am here to make sure I save this country. And we're going to do it every single show, one live at a time, Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, all right? And that's what this is about. Now, the reason that I have to do this is because we all understand what's going on right now. And by the way, I just got to say this. W to Gavin Newsom. How many of you out there think Gavin Newsom is doing an outstanding job? Do we all think that Governor Gavin Newsom, because I've seen him in governor mode, right? And what people are seeing now, this isn't governor mode that he's in. Governor mode is, we're the fourth largest economy. We're going to keep the state doing what it's been doing. That's governor mode. But where he's at right now, he's on beast mode, all right? And what he's doing is his face triggers Trump supporters. Just his face. Z-Pac. And by the way, Z-Pac, ladies and gentlemen, it's Z-Pac's birthday. I don't know if you could come up this morning today, Z-Pac, but I hear it's your birthday. I heard that through the grapevine, and I know your account may have been taken down. I don't know if you can come up, but we're going to celebrate your birthday. If you can, get up here. If you're not, you have our love, all right? Yeah, Gavin Newsom is doing an outstanding job. I'm not even going to disclose to the Trump supporters what Governor Gavin Newsom is. I'm just going to let you all keep crying. I'm going to let you all keep complaining because that's what I need. That's what I need to get through my day. Nothing makes me happier than to know that Trump supporters are crying their eyes out. All right. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that makes me go to the last part of my intro. Do we have, good morning, Little Hawk. Do I have any Trump supporters out there in the chat this morning? Anybody out there still supporting Donald J. Trump? Anyone out there? Anyone out there still supporting Donald Trump, right? And okay, let me put it this way. Anybody out there that's pro P3DO? Any pro P3DOs out there? Democrats going to join the Gavin Newsom cult, overlook everything he destroys, MAGA. Okay, Duke, are you Duke? I'm looking at your profile pic, Duke. Are you black? Duke, are you black? I gotta ask Duke. And ladies and gentlemen, please forgive me. Sometimes I inadvertently talk manganese and I don't always say things politically correct. Just bear with me. That's not the thing. What I'm doing is I'm really penetrating the cult. So Duke is a black guy in here and he's upset with Governor Gavin Newsom. So before I go any further, I'll say this, Duke, and anybody that comes from the same ilk, same cloth that you guys come from, you guys are a disgrace to this country, Duke. And I'm at the point now where I'm not even going to try to win MAGA over. The question I'm asking each and every single one of you Trump supporters is very simple. Why should we let you in the Democrat Party, right? That's what we're going to start saying. Why should, because if I let you into the, if I allow these people to be around me, the demon that's in them is going to try to jump off into me. So I don't want to do that. And so and they can't answer the question. So Duke, listen up. I'll be honest with you. If you don't want me to ruin your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and everything in between, and I could probably ruin your relationship if you just give me a little extra time to talk to you and get to the bottom of what's going on. If you don't want any of that to happen, Duke, do us all a huge favor and leave this show right now. And you could go hang out with these fake TikTok hosts on this app who I've totally obliterated, right? Not just me, all of my friends that get up here. We've destroyed every MAGA demon on this app. And they fear us, and rightfully so. You go hang out with them because they'll lie to you and they'll take your money. And then they'll say, you know what, come on back tomorrow. We got some more for you. But not over here. We're going to hold your feet to the fire. We're going to point out all of your hypocrisy, whether you like it or not. And you know what? We're going to tell you so much truth. Your head's going to spin and they go, boop. What happened? Your head just popped off, right? And then next thing you know, you're crying. So if you don't want anything like that to happen to you, Brother Duke, and I shouldn't even call you Brother Duke, all right? But I'm just going to call you Duke. How about that? Leave right now because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise you it will. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader. Ooh, hold on.
Not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
You hear that, Duke?
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed. I take no responsibility for your feelings getting hurt. I mean, at this point, we're way past all of that. But I'll try my best to keep this thing on the rails, all right? But honestly, if you're going to be easily triggered, don't start all of that reporting stuff that y'all all like to do. Just leave, all right? Because some of us are actually here to learn W Zeus. So what do I want to start off today's show with? Let's start off with our good friends, Jennifer and Pumps. I call them that, right? But her name is Angie, really. And we're just going to call out what's really going on, ladies and gentlemen. It's Donald Trump's health, all right? And they do an outstanding job describing it. I apologize if you may have already heard this, but it just puts me in the mood when I start to lay into Donald Trump, all right? So please bear with me.
Campbell's McTaco Tits, the convicted felon, president of the United States, health is in rapid decline.
Yeah.
There is a massive cover-up going on at the White House regarding this, but the right wing is starting to figure it out. And Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist, absolute abject piece of shit, is starting to get to the bottom of it. Kylie, pop up this headline. We have a crisis, Alex Jones warns that Trump is headed for health collapse, a health collapse. Kylie, now play the clip.
You can see him declining faster and faster. It's not super bad yet. But unlike Biden, that was completely shot and had all these brain surgeries and the rest of it, Trump has got great genetics. He's tough. And if he takes care of himself, he can make it through these years and then after. But if he doesn't, he's going to have, I predict Trump is going to have some type of collapse within the next 12 months at the current trajectory. I'm not saying he's going to.
All right. Deep in the heart of MAGA, he's giving Kanks, who I'm going to refer to him as instead of Cankles McTaco Tits, for expediency and efficiency.
Kanks.
He's giving Kanks 12 months to live. Alex Jones. Well, here's the thing. He says a couple things that are just really odd. It's not that bad yet. Alex, it's terrible.
Yeah.
His ankles are as big as my head. He's got bruises on his palm from what I think they're giving him IVs. And then he says he has great genes. Let's not forget, his father died of dementia and Alzheimer's. This man's genes tell us exactly where he's headed, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor. This is just the fluffery that has to go on the right wing. He's calling out, it's clear that Trump has massive health decline, not only cognitive, but like his health. But in order to say something, he also has to throw in flattery. Oh my God, he has great genes. He's a stud. He doesn't have a teeny weeny. I don't care what South Park says. So they always have to throw in that pornographic fluffery to make sure they keep the MAGA base hard. All right, next.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you all just heard, Donald Trump isn't doing that well in terms of his health. This is the new cover up, and it's so funny, and it's actually sad that the Trump supporters who were basically, you saw what they did to President Biden. They made up so many lies about President Joe Biden, didn't they? Oh, he's old, he's this, he's that, he's a waste of skin. This is what they said. Well, oh, okay. And this is why I say God's judgment is truly on this nation. Because MAGA is so idiotic, right? They didn't understand that the same measure of judgment they were placing on Joe Biden, that same measure, actually 10 times it, would actually happen to them if they voted for Donald Trump, who was also an older person, who clearly had cognitive issues and a lot of health issues. I've seen him throughout his campaign dragging that leg. But MAGA didn't care. So MAGA, you know what they say? You know how y'all say this? This is what we voted for. You voted to have this sick and demented, twisted, disgusting, convicted felon as your dear leader. So let me translate what I said to you. What you voted for is this. You voted for us Democrats and real Republicans and independents. You voted to have us on you like white on rice the entire time this man is in the White House talking about the very issues you were complaining about with Joe Biden. You voted for us to be on you like this, all right? And so with that being said, let me go ahead and warm up the lake of fire, because MAGA is so... I can't even say it because I don't want to get in trouble on TikTok. But you knew what I was going to say. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send these liars, these hypocrites, these seditionists, treasonous traitors where they came from, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I mean, it's not coming from one source. This is coming from multiple sources. Let's listen to what the Midas Touch has to say, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Because this is calling out to Donald Trump supporters. I'm never going to let it go. Every day he gets into that Oval Office, or he sends J.D. Vance or someone else to go talk for him. Because when he sends these people on the news to go talk to him, like Fox News, when I see J.D. Vance talking, I go, oh, so Donald Trump didn't show up to work today. Why isn't he not showing up? Oh, because he's probably getting something, the IV injection in his hand or whatever, because of the health issues that he has. And you could just see it happening all over. Donald Trump isn't even there anymore as far as I'm concerned. He's on his last leg. And I do mean that, all right? He's really on his last leg, and the world sees it. Let's go ahead and listen to what the Midas Touch has to say. And this doesn't take long.
Shame!
Posting about how the media has it all wrong and his real approval ratings like 70%, and it's not the worst in history, which is what's being reported.
Go ahead,
How
Ben.
pathetic can you get? But zoom in right here.
Zoom
Can we
in.
look at Donald Trump's hand? New bruises, new marks are emerging on his hand. You see it right there. And again, others have reported on the discoloration on his hand, his swollen ankles. He struggles to walk in a straight line. We showed you, of course, last week. Midas Touch was the first to call
Can't
it
even
out.
walk
as he
in a
was
straight line.
zigzagging on the red carpet
Something's
that he
wrong
rolled
up
out
here.
for Vladimir Putin. He can no longer walk in a straight line. Well, he was golfing this weekend. You see right here,
Golfing.
he's dragging that right leg again, and he can't walk in a straight line.
Yeah.
As John Jackson writes, now Trump has bruising on both hands. If this was Biden, it would be wall-to-wall hysterical coverage on mainstream media, and you'd be digging on the obviously false medical reports we've been provided by Trump for years.
Thank you. So that's a W Zeus, W Midas Touch, W I Hypnus, and there's multiple sources, and actually W Lawrence O'Donnell. MAGA, you'll never ever be able to escape this reality that you got a sick dementia patient as your president, and he's actually an embarrassment to this country. I've never seen somebody so weak in my life, and he's weak. He can barely do anything. He sits behind the Oval Office desk. They say he has to sit behind the desk to hide the ankle. Okay. And then he says, I'm going to go walk D.C. I'm going to go walk down the streets in Washington, D.C. Did anybody see Donald Trump walking down the streets of Washington, D.C.? The best he could probably do is walk to the vending machine and get a Coke, and he can barely do that, all right? Because his ankles, Those ankles are going to honestly be his downfall. And MAGA, when this all comes crashing down on you, and it will, you can't blame anybody but the good Lord, the one you say you worship, because they're going to try to blame when because they said he's on his end, and I'm not saying this. Alex Jones is saying he only got 12 months. When this all happens, MAGA, you understand this is going to be 110% your fault. You won't be able to blame Joe Biden. You won't be able to blame Democrats. No, you did this to him. Instead of saying, hey, Dad, you're a little too old. I don't think you should do this. I get it. Your heart's in it. You love the country, but honestly, let the game go. Y'all won't be honest with him. You're going to prop him up and make him put it all on the line for you. And this is going to be totally disgusting. And so what I'll do is this. I'll help you hypocrites understand why this is all bad. And at the end of the day, it's actually God's judgment on you. And it's warranting me to send you Trump supporters back to where you came from. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send these hypocrites that support this crooked criminal, Donald J. Trump, and all the nasty stuff he's doing, including his deteriorating health. Let's go ahead and send him straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Zeus. I mean, seriously, this is getting to be so easy to do. I mean, but what I'm doing is, and people say, Zeus, why do you talk like this to these people? And I say, because the gloves are off, right, Ange? The gloves are off, and we cannot be kind to MAGA anymore, because it's like we're at a point now where you just know this person is not a good driver, and no, we're going to take the keys away from you. And if you want to fight about it, then you know what, we're going to have to do that. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to get in the car with somebody who doesn't clearly know how to drive and is totally incompetent, all right? And a lot of us are at that level and at that point. And so that brings me to my next issue that's going on right now with MAGA, and hate when I do. They really do hate when I do this, but I always do it when I need to do it, and I'm going to do it now.
Sure. If I
Now, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things.
Yeah.
And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is
unbelievable. You know that is.
Do you want to waste the time on it? Do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
All right, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep bringing up Jeffrey Epstein, all right? How many people think we should keep talking about Jeffrey Epstein? How many people think we should keep talking about Jeffrey Epstein, all right? And so what I'm going to do is call this, and you just got to bear with me, and I've been kind of hinting at it, but we're really at a point now where we just got to call it what it is, the deep state cover-up. And I want to make sure Trump and his supporters understand that I don't believe in the deep state like they believed in it. But you know what I thought about, and I said initially I didn't take the Epstein files serious, but now I take them serious, right? And the same thing with the deep state. So this is my attempt to help MAGA understand, the ones that are still supporting him, that they are complicit in the deep state. They are actually actively participating in the deep state cover-up, and this is around the Epstein files. So who are the deep state soldiers? And that's a great question, and we'll get into that. But definitely it starts at the top, and it goes all the way down. I saw someone in here, MAGA crazy, right? And then Blaga too. Blaga, all of y'all, you are part of the deep state cover-up, in my opinion, and you're deep state soldiers, okay? So we got to confront this matter, ladies and gentlemen, that strikes at the core of justice and public trust. Unresolved questions surrounding, guess who? Jeffrey Epstein, and his criminal activities and the handling of his case across multiple administrations. See, the term deep state has been used to suggest hidden forces obstructing accountability, but we must focus on verifiable facts rather than speculative narratives. Allegations of cover-up in Epstein's investigations. We all heard about that, right? You know about the plea agreements, and subsequent inquiries persist, yet official reports attribute outcomes to peculiar failures rather than conspiracies. To restore confidence in our institution, you know what we got to do? I think it's time to start getting some people to come testify publicly in front of Congress, right? All right, we're going to get that, all right? Let's start out in 2008. with the non-prosecution agreement widely criticized for its leniency towards Epstein. And guess what happened around 2008? George W. Bush was president. George W. Bush, as president during this period, presided over the Department of Justice when the NPA was negotiated. While no evidence directly ties him to the agreement's specifics, its approval under his administration raises questions about the oversight at the highest level. Michael Mukasey, the Attorney General from 2007 to 2009, countersigned the NPA, fulfilling a procedural requirement to formalize its term. Mark Phillip, serving as Deputy Attorney General in 2008, is alleged in some accounts to have influenced the deal's leniency along with Mukasey, potentially intervening in its limit and scope. Alexander Acosta, a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida, led the negotiations of the NPA, which allowed Epstein to plead guilty to state charges, serve a reduced sentence, and granted immunity to potential co-conspirators. Acosta later referenced external pressures, including unverified claims that Epstein, quote, belonged to intelligence through the Department of Justice Office of Professional Responsibility, attributed the outcome to his poor judgment. These individuals, Bush, Mukasey, Phillip, and Acosta, must testify publicly before Congress to clarify the decision-making process and to disclose any external influences and explain why full accountability was not pursued, ensuring that such lapses in judgment do not happen again. That's a W, Zeus. Because I don't think, and I talked to a lot of great people about this ad nauseum. We don't think that all the right suspects have been actually called out to help get clarity on this. And we don't want to fall for the distraction stuff that's going on. You know, the bombing and the bomb being dropped, the boom booms, I should say, being dropped in Iran, or the testimony of Ghislaine Maxwell that was released. And by the way, if you haven't listened to that, be cautious. All right. That's some sick stuff that's going on in that testimony. But we all know these are all distractions. We know who the real suspects are. Turning more to recent events. Donald Trump, who associated with Epstein in the 90s and early 2000s, reportedly distanced himself after allegations emerged, banning Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. However, during Trump's first presidency, questions arose about his administration's handling of Epstein's 2019 arrest and his unaliving. Bill Barr, Attorney General from 2019 to 2020, oversaw the Justice Department's response to Epstein's unaliving while in custody, officially ruled that it was, an suicide, despite the skepticism. Rod Rosenthal, you all remember, it's when you say these names, it takes you back in time. I remember these people. Rod Rosenthal, Deputy Attorney General until May of 2019, managed the initial aspects of the federal investigation into Epstein. Ed O'Callaghan, briefly acting Attorney General, and Jeffrey A. Rosen, Deputy Attorney General from May of 2019 and later Acting Attorney General, were also involved in addressing the case and its aftermaths. Some allegations suggest that these officials may have restricted disclosure to avoid broader scrutiny, though official reports find no evidence about intentional obstruction. Congressional testimony from Trump. We should get Donald Trump to go testify in Congress. Shouldn't we get Donald Trump to go testify in Congress, ladies and gentlemen? Because these are these people that I'm listing. I know their names might not sound like, oh, who are you? But I'm listing the people who are the deep state soldiers, MAGA. Aren't you against the deep state? And if you're not, I'm going to expose that you're not. All right. And I don't want to hear it. All right. And notice I'm not reading any Democrats' names, right? I haven't read any yet, but this is what I'm talking about. So that's okay. So congressional testimony from Trump, Barr, Rosenthal, O'Callaghan, and Rosen is essential in addressing the inconsistencies in the record and verifying the actual cause of unaliving and to confirm whether investigative avenues were prematurely closed. Now, in the current administration, and I hate to say it, but I got to say it, Pam Bondi, as Attorney General, she's been facing some criticism of her own for the Department of Justice's recent release of documents to Congress, which promised significant disclosures, but proved to be a total failure. Friday, Pam Bondi's DOJ gave those documents to Congress, and ladies and gentlemen, it was a complete failure. And I'm not making this up. And I'll explain why in short order. Let's see. The absence of substantive revelations has fueled accusations and continued obfuscations, undermining the public's trust and leaving the victims once again without answers. Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, both former commentators who previously amplified conspiracy theories about Epstein, have now endorsed findings that affirm that the unaliving ruling, and then they denied the existence of a client list. This is crazy. This is why I call them, they're also deep state soldiers as far as I'm concerned. All right. And right-wing influencers, you know who they are. Laura Loomer, Jack Posobiec, and all these other crazy ones have further escalated this matter by being complicit with Donald Trump and his narratives, right? And you know what we got to do? We should get them to testify in front of Congress too, right? W. Zeus. Okay, Bondi, Patel, Bongino, and representatives like these right-wing influencers must testify before Congress to explain their roles in shaping the public's expectations and justify these recent releases and shortcomings and disclose any remaining unredacted materials to address the allegations that we all are seeing being read out. So, let me go ahead and wrap this up. The Epstein case, ladies and gentlemen, demands relentless pursuit of truth to honor the victims and survivors, honestly, and restore faith in our institutions. Congressional testimony, and do it in public, because if you do it behind closed doors, I don't really think it's going to end this matter. It's only going to make it worse. So you got to do this in public. And we want to hear from former President George Bush, Michael Mukasey, Mark Phillip, Alexander Acosta, Donald Trump himself, Bill Barr, Rod Rosenstein, Ed Callahan, Jeffrey Rosen, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and all these right-wing influencers who are out here pushing the cover-up for the deep state. They're the deep state soldiers, right? That's a W, Zeus. Bill Clinton, get Bill Clinton in there too. Because this is the only way we're going to ensure that we honestly get true accountability. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. That's my call for all of you to get out there and make sure these people get out there and tell your elected officials, no, don't do it behind closed doors. Bring them out, and we will determine if they should be allowed to remain in government. We the people, right? And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me warm up the lake of fire. And I know I just read something that made Trump supporters very angry and very upset. And they're mad because I basically told them they are a part of the deep state and they're the deep state soldiers. And you know what? It'll stay that way until you get out of the cult. So ladies and gentlemen, let's send the people who are still supporting Donald Trump and his deep state cover-up despite what I just read. Let's send them straight to hell.
Silence, you matter daily.
W Zeus. And you know what? I see that some folks are still some people are triggered in my live right now. They're getting very triggered by the way that I'm running it. Well, you know what? You must not have heard my PSA announcement at the top of the show, but I'll go ahead and give you another reminder.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
There you go. There you go. Now, let me read to you from Representative Summer Lee, all right? She slams the DOJ's release of recycled Epstein files. So a lot of us know it came out on Friday. They said, oh, the DOJ is actually complying, with the subpoena, and they've released the files they started the release of the files to Congress. And so Oversight Committee Democrats' initial review revealed that the 33,000, and I say this because I know there's people like DJ in my chat, DJ, and I call DJ Scott Jennings. He's TikTok Scott Jennings for us, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to bring the right wing side of whatever the topic is and try to somehow make it seem like it's okay. We're not going to let it slide, but that's what he does. All right. They revealed that these 33,295 pages of the documents released to the committee, get this, only 3% contained any new information. The remaining 97% pages included information previously released by the Department of Justice, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, or the Palm Beach County State Office. Let me say that again. 97% of the information that Pam Bondi gave to Congress, it's information we already had. You see that, Gregory Jones? Oh, so Gregory, you agree. Wow. Gregory finally agrees. How many times do they have to slap you in the face, MAGA, before you realize that they're honestly, they think you're not that smart? I didn't buy it, not one split second. All the stuff he did on Friday to try to throw you off his trail of doing this, it didn't work. We're on it like white on rice. Now, they say the other 3%, let's just get this out there, less than 100,000 or less than 1,000 pages from the Customs and Border Protection's log of flights, locations of Epstein's plane from 2000 to 2014, and forms consistent with re-entry back into the United States. So, in other words, they gave Congress a bunch of poop. Let me say that again, and I got to keep it clean on TikTok. The DOJ gave Congress a stack of poop, MAGA, and y'all fell for it. And so what I'll do is this, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're at a situation now where either the Trump supporters are going to realize that they're being lied to and manipulated, right? Any Trump supporter, anybody out there still supporting Donald Trump after hearing me share all of this information, anyone still out there supporting him, knowing that he's basically manipulating you into believing that there's nothing there. He's making you so tiny tank top Tim Tom. Wow. You see what I'm saying? Look at that CD. He's here. These people who are identifying themselves as Trump supporters, even though they know that they are deep state soldiers, it speaks volumes, honestly. And you know what? I'll just do this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send these demons where they came from, straight to hell. Get them out of here.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
You know what I gotta do? I don't like that background. Hold on, let's get back here because it's too bright for me. I'd like to get something a little easier on my eyes. There you go, W Zeus. The next thing I want to do is at least we got to address it. I hear Albrego Garcia, the Maryland man, the Maryland father, was detained by ICE this morning, and it's just another reminder of how dangerous things have gotten in this country. Isn't it incredible that Donald Trump wants to send the National Guard to all these Democrat cities and talk about bringing the crime rate down? How many people out there think Donald Trump should actually send the National Guard to these inner cities to address crime? Anyone out there really falling for that? Because I was talking to a Blaga individual yesterday, MAGA, what was his name, MAGA Crazy, and I think he understood what I was saying when I was saying what I was saying. So you want to see criminals with badges, because that's how I was raised. You call these people, the ones that are bad actors, criminals with badges, go after the criminals without badges. That's what they want to see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and someone wrote in the chat, what about white crime? Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah. What about it? I want to know when Donald Trump's going to sign an executive order to go after all of these crazy, who they are, up in the mountains and in these rural parts of America, just sitting in a house thinking of nothing but pure evil thoughts and how to create just the most worst, heinous crimes ever. When are we going to get America, especially Donald Trump, to take accountability for that? Because what's going on in the streets, that's pretty low level. We all know what that's called street justice, and we all know that's not a good thing. But there's ways to help those situations, right? And someone asked me, what can you do? I said, well, why don't you practice being a role model? I'm talking to Blaga. Why don't you practice being role models to these people in these communities that you claim you care about so much? They don't want to do that. Oh, I'm pro-life. Oh, you're pro-life? Okay, well, what do you do once the child arrives here? Well, you know what I do? I tell them to go straight to hell. This is what you do, MAGA. You don't provide them with any support services. You want to send the law enforcement at them, and you want them to actually put them in jail, do all the same stuff that you're familiar with seeing, because that's your comfort. That's your comfort zone, right? W Zeus. You want to see people being shackled. So you can ride around in your Ford Taurus and say, you know what, my life is better than theirs. I feel a lot better about my miserable state of living, knowing that they're around there, just terrorizing these people of color. I see it right through your eyes. I was talking to a woman yesterday, Rosalie, I think that was her name. She's out here in the Bay Area, Hispanic woman. I hate Gavin Newsom. She said she hates Gavin Newsom. And I said, well, why don't you just leave and go to another state? Go to a red state. Oh no, Zeus, I can't do that. My family's here. And this is what I'm saying. And I said, so you're a ladder puller, because I told her she's also a ladder puller. And I said, and you hate black people. And she got so triggered when I called her out for doing that. And I said, well, make it make sense to me. How do you live in the state of California, right? And you make all this money? How do you do it? How do you folks live in a state like California, make all this money, and then you sit on your rear ends and complain about the governor of the state that's allowing you to make this kind of money? Because he could clamp down on so many of these businesses and be a total tyrant and not allow you to make that kind of money if he wanted to. But you're making this money and you're literally biting the hand that feeds you. And I said, you know what? We got a long way to go. And I asked her, I said, so do you like what ICE is doing to your community? And I gotta send Rosalie, I think that's her name. I'm gonna send her straight to hell for this. She said, and this is a new MAGA talking point, no, I don't like that ICE is terrorizing our communities. But she says, but that wouldn't have happened if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris would have done their job. This is what she told me. And I said, you know what? That's the sickest thing I've ever heard somebody say. And that shows me what's really going on in this country. A lot of you have cognitive dissonance issues. You can't blame the man that's sending ICE to go after your family, your community. He's not the problem. Your racism against Kamala Harris and your hatred in your heart because somewhere along the line, I don't know what happened, is showing. And you can't look at yourself in the mirror and realize this, and I'll help you do it, Rosalie, that you are the problem. You're the reason that they're actually targeting your family members. You know why? Because you, with your special behind, went into a voting booth and committed treason. You are the reason, not Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and warm up the lake of fire for Miss Rosalie, who lives out here in the Bay Area, riding in the back of an Uber talking about she got it like that and she hates Gavin Newsom. All right, okay, Rosalie, do me a huge favor, all right, and go straight to hell.
Silence.
Yes.
You matter.
Someone asked me, did I call her that? I think I told her. I told her that she was racist, and you might not like me for saying these things because I hate to be this way. I would prefer to have conversations that are on the up and up, but sometimes you got to speak to people where they're at. I told her 3 things. I said, ma'am, number 1, you're racist because you think you're better than black people. Number 2, you're a ladder puller. And then the last part of the conversation, we got into, she made some very disparaging statements about Vice President Kamala Harris. And I'll say this to anybody. If you think calling the Vice President Hills Up Harris is a dig at her, actually, it's not a dig in my world, it's a compliment. If you call her Heels Up Harris, it's a compliment, in my opinion, because it shows the woman actually figured out, and it's not true, but I had to say this to Miss Rosalie. I said, ma'am, okay, so she said, yeah, she slept her way to the top. This is what she told me. And I said, you can't say it. If you use that excuse with me, any of you MAGA conservative women, if you use that excuse with Big Zeus, I promise you, it's not going to end well. Because then I said, so let me ask you a question then, ma'am, Miss Holier Than Thou, Miss Virgin Mary, so to speak. Are you married? And she says, yes, I'm married, happily married, 32 years. What's up with all you conservative women always saying you're happily married for 32 years? Can't y'all come up with a different number? Because the moment you say you're happily married, I know you're really not happy. And I was like, okay, that's why she's riding around in the backseat of an Uber in Oakland somewhere. It's not really a happily married. Because if your husband loved you, he wouldn't let you do that. He'd say, I'm coming to get you. Or he, put you in a nice situation. But okay, whatever. She said she slept her way to the top. And I said, so, okay, you're married happily. You got any kids? Yes, I got 3. Okay. And okay, so let me say this to you, man, with all due respect. You know what just happened? What you didn't realize is what Kamala did resulted in her becoming the vice president of the United States. Gregory, I told her this straight up. She did all that sleeping around, according to you, and guess what? She became the vice president of the United States. What's your point, Zeus? And I said, you know what? You did all that. I said, have you ever hooked up with anybody else besides your husband? Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. Okay, fine. You did all that sleeping around, and guess what? You're in the back seat of an Uber. And I want to remind to the women out there that like to try to say that about Vice President Harris. You can't pretend like that you've been running around here being one of the most holiest people on the planet. And then when we ask you about where you at in life and you get all of a sudden get upset. That's why I said, if you don't want me to talk about you like that and bring that up, just don't even bring up Kamala Harris and her past, because I promise you it'll never end well. You can't be a woman and then tell me you're mad at Kamala Harris for sleeping her way to the top, and then try to convince me that all the sleeping that you've done got you at the bottom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's acceptable. Cut it out. When you look at Kamala Harris, you really have to look at her and say, wow, this is an accomplished woman. All right. She's worked in all the branches of government. She's made it to one of the highest levels in this country. And she did that despite the odds. She came right out of Oakland, California doing that. What more does this woman owe you? What more does Kamala Harris, ladies and gentlemen, owe a person than to be an example of what can happen in this great country of ours? And the same thing goes with Barack Obama. But it's so funny to me how people look at these folks and I say, why do they do it to them? And it's because they're black. And I'm going to say that, and Gregory might not like me to say it, but I'm going to say it. You're mad that these people are black and successful. Oh, well, he's not really black. His mother is this. And I'm going, you know, it's the same. It's blagger mindset. It's the blagger mindset, ladies and gentlemen. It bothers me. I was talking to these same blagger folks yesterday, and they think that the National Guard going into Chicago is a good thing. But you know what? I had them stuck on one point, and they never gave me an answer. But I'm willing to entertain it. Blagger, honestly, the ones that are crying the National Guard needs to go into Washington, D.C., right? The ones that are crying that they need to be going into Chicago. I'm talking to blagger specifically, not you, Snuggles. All right? How do you think the National Guard, if they were to show up with the stuff they come in, the stuff they're coming with, how do you think they would be able to distinguish blagger between Pookie? I gotta say it like that. Blagger don't know, and I'm gonna say it. Blagger doesn't know that they are Pookie. Yeah, blagger, I'm here to once again. I popped your bubble, blagger. Y'all are the Pookies and the Ray Rays, and when the National Guard show up, they ain't gonna go, oh, you voted for Donald Trump. Oh, okay, can you just step out of the way while we do this thing we're about to do to these? No, you're gonna be caught up in the crossfire as well. And so with that being said, and I know I gotta open up the box and start having some real conversations, I'm going to say this, blagger, I want to say this to you, and you know, Dame, I know Dame's probably listening or has one of his spies in here listening. I got to say it to you. And Governor Gavin Newsom actually gave me it. Wake up. That's what Governor Gavin Newsom said. Wake up. When are y'all going to realize that all this talking points that y'all are saying on the internet and stuff, y'all getting that straight from the Kremlin? Yes, Putin himself, starting going way back in the 2016 election, has been actively involved in putting out misinformation and disinformation to the right, on the right. And you all are eating it up. Hook, line, and sinker at your own demise. Did you know that? You know what they say about rat poison? It's 99.9% food and 0.01% poison, and that's all. It just takes a little bit to do a lot. It takes just a little bit of it to do a lot, and that's what's going on with blagger right now. They've sold themselves out, and they're sitting around here. Q Dog was in there in that conversation, and they're sitting around here selling their souls for nothing. They really do think they're going to get freedom as a result of wearing those red hats. And I'm the first one to tell you, you'll never get it. And so what I'll do is this. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire, ladies and gentlemen. Trav, you don't think the Democrats have nothing to offer? You're right. I have nothing to offer you, champ. Do me a huge favor, though, if you don't mind, and go straight to hell.
Silence!
Yeah.
You MAGA
W Zeus. Look at that, right on time. Trav, you're right. The Democrats have nothing to offer other than a first class trip to hell. All right. And Trav, I have no problem helping you or any of you MAGA demons going there. All right. Because it's like that story I've been telling people. You know, that story about that one guy from Texas who left Texas. He says I'm leaving the United States because I don't want to be woke with the Democrats anymore. So he goes over to Russia. That's where he took his family. And Putin said, "Here, take this. Go to the front lines in Ukraine." And guess what happened to him? He's no longer alive, right? And you know what they say now? They go, "Guess what? He's not woke. He's not woke." So yeah, Trav, go over to Russia. All right, I promise you. You know, you'll have the time of your life. All right, now let's go to the audience. It's time to have some authentic conversations with those of you who are in the audience. Do we have any Trump supporters this morning? Anybody out there still supporting Donald Trump? He's sleeping right now, little hot. Kono said Democrats haven't learned anything. Kono, come on up here if you don't mind. You could be the first one. Democrats haven't learned that Trump's insults don't attract new voters. Keep it up. Kono, come on up here. Come on, Kono. I invited you up here. If you're a Trump supporter, send me a guest request or put a 1 in the chat. And what we'll do is we'll try to have an authentic conversation. All right, seriously, and then we'll go from there. All right, because it's very important that people show that, you know, it's not, they say I'm paid for by the DNC. It's not that. It's really just because we love our great country. All right, and we were trying to make sure things get on track over here. Yeah, Viper, you see that, Viper? Where y'all Trump supporters at? You would have thought these Trump supporters, they would have been happy and they would be celebrating Liberation Day, you know, and all these other things, but they're not happy. These people are truly miserable because they know that everything that Donald Trump said that he was going to do for them, we got a record and we got receipts for it. He's not doing anything for them besides taking their money. So where are the Trump voters at? Please put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, okay, I'm looking. I'm really looking. All right, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, who do we got? All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Okay, do we have anybody out there that voted for Donald Trump but now regrets their vote? Let's see if we could do it that way. Do we have anybody out there that voted for Donald Trump but now regrets their vote? Because this is what I want to do. I want to make sure I'm getting to the bottom of whatever was bothering a lot of you. Okay, who do we have? Pookie Ray. Pookie Ray, ain't that something? I just invited Pookie Ray. Come on up here, Pookie Ray. You voted for Donald Trump. Little Hawk, he didn't come up here. All right, good. All right, who do we have right here?
Hi there. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. I'm obviously not a Trumper, but I wanted to say something that might help you get some people on your show. First of all, we all know that Trump brought out the cockroaches of the Proud Boys and the white supremacy and all that came out. Okay?
Yep.
These people came out as soon as Trump got out there and they did the Heil, whatever it is that they do to Schmittler.
Yeah.
Why do these people believe that they're going to be safe when he claims he wants 100 million people of Caucasian on this planet, and all the people that hang out with them are complete haters. The people that hang out with Trump are the people against everyone of color. Now, if they're dark-skinned, I don't care if they're Latino, Puerto Rican, Cuban, or black, you are not in his meal wheel. He's not going to feed you. He wants you out of the picture. And he's proven it because he's taken away the programs that help people that are not multimillionaires. And I'm sure all those blagas are not millionaires whatsoever. But
Preach on it.
They think their safety, thing, their shield is their little red hat. Well, I'm going to tell you what they got for that red hat. All they got was the money that they spent on it, and they lost, technically. And that hat is not going to protect them. Even if it rains, they're still going to get soaked. They are so ignorant. And they believe they are protected. He made it perfectly clear. He doesn't care who you are. Just vote for me, and then you can unalive.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, wild card, you're on fire this morning.
I am. I'm pretty steamed. And
Where are you from?
I'm from Florida. And I saw and I heard that he took Obama's picture down. There you go.
I heard.
A black man
Yep.
out of the White House with disrespect of another president who was there for 2 terms, who never had 34 freaking felonies. And he's got an autographed picture of Putin, a dictator. Do they not understand what a dictator is? I don't think that they do.
Well,
So
64% of Trump voters are uneducated. They only made it to high school, from what I understand, and it comes from the real number. And you know what? What's even more tragic is that you are riding harder for the black community than black. That's what's crazy to me. Isn't that crazy?
I know, and I tell people that all the time. I always stand up for the people that are in those cages, and I want them to lay down at night. If they even have a guilty conscience, the slightest bit of compassion for humanity, they need to lay down and think they're under a ceiling fan, they're in air conditioning, they got a pillow and a bed and a blanket. These people are in little cages with bright, bright, bright lights on them, cooking them like they're keeping them chicken warmer, and they don't get no sleep. They don't get decent food. They don't have privacy when they go to the bathroom. They never get a shower. So for all you morons that voted for Trump, I hope you get the same cage and think about what I said when you're laying in that little crate on that cot.
Wow. It's what you're saying coming out of Florida. It just hits different, and it makes me feel really good to know there's folks like you in Florida that are doing the right thing, and you see it for how it is. I mean, it just means so much to me. Thank you, honestly, so much. But let me ask you this, though. What has been your assessment thus far about how things are going since Trump took over?
Well, I really feel like, just as a person that has common sense, that he is totally trying to sell us out. It's obvious to me that he's taking away the things that keep America strong. He's taken away the programs, the disability for the veterans. He's taken away the food programs for children. For God's sakes,
Wow.
for children. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to feed nobody, but he's sure as hell okay with building a freaking ballroom that's going to cost billions of dollars. And while he's in there dancing and rubbing elbows with his rich buddies, all you blaga and you Latino Cubans and all the people that voted for him are sitting there wondering, can I afford a bag of rice? Because everything is going to go up with these tariffs, and you morons stepped right in that pile of crap.
This is
and
sad.
Got it on your shoe. It's a
Yeah.
damn shame. Look at your freaking shoe and wash the crap off. But you know
Thank
what?
you.
It's too late. I don't know what we can do because these morons are still brainwashed with their little red hats.
Well, they say that the Democrats should do more to try to attract these voters. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think these people can be reached? Because you know what they're saying, honestly. Wow, they're saying we say words like DEI. We always want to be politically correct on the left, and and these are the things that are turning these people off. What are your thoughts about that in terms of potentially trying to be able to win these people over? Do you think it's possible, knowing all of that stuff is kind of happening out here?
Well, you know what? It's going to be very hard because when they put these stereotypes on people, whether it's LGBTQ, whether it's black people, whether it's Cubans, whatever, you got to remember we're all kind of a minority in our own way. Each of us are like, the white people are the least around now on the planet.
Yeah.
And I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
These people are like, the white race is trying to, build up their Caucasian race again.
Yeah.
It's starting to panic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other thing is that scares me is for these other people. No, I don't know. How can you reach to somebody that is just so far gone? There's some of them that are just drank too much Kool-Aid. They're soaking
By the
in it.
gallon. Yeah.
By the
They're
gallon.
they're unreachable, right? And so that to me speaks to why the energy is the way that it is, because you came in here and you just said how you felt, which I think is we got to continue to do. Because there was a period where I tried to be kind, honestly, but I'm a little on the edge now, and I can tell you've gotten to that point because obviously we're frustrated that these folks, no matter what strategies we've tried to help get them to see the light, it's not working. So my last question then goes, would you say what Governor Gavin Newsom, I have him in the background behind me, would you say he's attacking the situation the right way or the wrong way, or is there anything he needs to perhaps do different?
Well, Gavin Newsom is progressive, and so is Jasmine Crockett. They both are going balls to the wall, which I love.
Thank
and
you.
Because actually it's coming down to, fire with fire. When Trump breaks every rule, he doesn't go by any law. He doesn't believe in our Constitution. He doesn't
Yeah.
care if a judge tells him, no, 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 you can't do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He's stomping on everything. And if people think that that's cool, that you
Mm.
could have somebody in there that's just going to override everything with all these executive orders and crap,
Yeah.
you got to realize that he is totally a tyrant, and they better look it up because I don't think they know what a tyrant is.
Amen.
Somebody that can just smack them down. As soon as he sees them, he could have the police grab them from their sidewalk
Yep.
or in the grocery store because they're blaga.
Yep.
Because they're some dark skin color.
Yep.
They're not
She's not
Caucasian.
lying. She's
I'm
not lying,
dude.
ladies and gentlemen.
This is
She's
coming-
telling it like it is.
Yes, absolutely. And either you guys buy into his crap and keep going down the toilet with him, and when you end up in that little Alcatraz place, then you can sit here and think about me and Zeus.
Yeah.
What we were trying to tell you, dumb moron.
Thank you. I gotta thank you so much for the honesty and the transparency. You're gonna get far in life with that. I'm pretty sure you're already doing great, but you're gonna continue to get further with that because it's that right there that we need to have. We're not going to give these people an inch on being wrong any longer. All right, you're wrong, and if you're not gonna try to at least get it right, we're gonna give you hell. All right, like you're doing. All right, all right.
Thank you for having me. I do appreciate it. I
You're
really
welcome.
do.
You're
And
totally welcome.
I'll come up another time. I
All
hope
right.
you-
I gave you a follow too. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Wildcard a huge round of applause. No lies detected. See how easy this is, ladies and gentlemen? When you get up here and you tell the truth, it's like one of the best shows on TikTok, right? We get you, and it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, right? If you could tell the truth, it's amazing. And I get along with a lot of people on this app, but when we get you into that spot where we're like, okay, we need you to stop, and you don't stop, then it's going to be hell on earth. W Zeus. Let's see. Do we have any Trump supporters out there? Do we have any Trump voters out there? Now, you just heard a wild card come up here and lay it all down. Anybody disagreeing with what they've heard so far, please identify yourselves in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat, and what we'll do is we'll get you up here. And if necessary, I've worked on this. I have a customer service team dedicated to fielding all of the complaints that you might have. So if you have a complaint that you would like to make about Big Zeus, just you can also send me a guest request. Come on up here and let me know what your complaint is, and then what we'll do is I'll pass it on to the customer service team, and then hopefully they'll get back to you. All right, thank you. That's what you call one heck of a. Who else is offering you all of that, right? I might not offer you all a lot of these great services. All right. Let's see. All right. So do we have any Trump supporters out there? I'm looking in the chat. All right. Let's give them a quick second. Put a 1 in the chat. Not you, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, because you haven't demonstrated you. Oh, Pookie, you were playing. All right. I got you. You haven't demonstrated that you're actually absorbing all of the knowledge that we've been sharing on this platform. If you were like DJ, I'll give DJ a little bit of a point. DJ, as much as he's a problem, a lot of people say DJ is a danger to the community and all this other stuff. And he is, because he knows better and he should do better, but he gets up here fighting it so hard. But at least he is absorbing the information that we're giving him. And he's very slow at it, but he's at least making an effort. Unlike you, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, you're just not even making an attempt. And so with that being said, it's just, you know what? You got to start showing me your care about knowledge and stuff like that. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's put a 1 in the chat. If you're a Trump supporter, we'll bring you right on up here. All right, let's go. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Boston Beauty, good morning. How are you doing? Are you there, Boston Beauty?
Yes, I'm
Hi.
not a Trump supporter though.
Oh, okay. What are you then?
I just want to give my take on Massachusetts.
Oh, what? Okay, I don't know anything about
I come
that.
from Boston,
Okay.
and I don't know if you know any history of Boston, but I just
A
feel like
little
even
bit,
though it's a Democrat state, there are a lot of undercover MAGA supporters, and they display themselves on the platform. Like even when you get to the voting booth,
Yeah.
they they would say things like, "Oh, there's no independent. Well, I'm asking for information on voting. Like, where do I find this? Where do I find that?" And all the stuff pointed towards the Democrat line. But then again, when I wanted to, it was either or Trump. There was no independent. There was nothing, and there was no information. There was nothing. It was high and dry. And then when you get to work is when you find out, oh, wow, you know, there are a lot of Trump supporters, but in Boston they tend to masquerade and hide the
They're
racism, and they've done
they,
it for a long time. They portray themselves, oh, we're the state to come to, but yet you see they didn't disarm themselves when it came to the immigrants. They let them wipe them off the streets. They let them take a 16-year-old girl. Still, this to this day, we don't have any information. It's just on and on and on. But the governor would say, "Oh, we're just following the law," and it's like, wait a minute, we're supposed to be a sanctuary state.
yeah.
So there's a lot of contradiction in our government, but is veering towards more of the way we get you in here. Now we have a big mayor race coming up, and they're playing on the whole Trump thing. They're playing, oh, we're not going to be like Trump. I'm not like Trump, but your Democratic mayor, she's the one. She's the problem. She's allowing Trump to take all these people, all these immigrants off the street. But in all actuality, it's the Republicans that are doing it. But people are misconstrued at the power that a mayor has.
Yeah.
Mayor doesn't have as much as power as the Senate, as the governor,
Yeah.
and there people are just not savvy with government and how government work and how civics work.
Yeah.
And I think like platforms like this allow us to have the education that we need, because you can't even go to college and get this information.
Yeah.
I went to college for 4 years, or actually more than that, and I'm not up to par
Yeah.
with politics.
Yeah.
And
You
I
gotta
learned more
do
about
your own.
politics and
You gotta do
history.
your own. You gotta do
Yes,
your own. So wait a minute. So you're now. How old are you, if you don't mind? I'm just trying
I'm
to get
55. I'm a
50.
registered nurse of 30 years,
Okay.
and I'm born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts,
Okay.
which suffered from a lot of redistricting.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when the up and coming neighborhoods that have suffered through urban renewal, they make it absolutely difficult for us to live and survive and thrive in these neighborhoods. There's nothing sustaining here. Now we're being pushed out in the outskirts of Boston, so we won't be able to say, quote unquote, we're from Boston. Boston has this elite system where it's a stigma. Like if you come from anywhere else, you're at a different class or different
So,
social
can I ask you a
status.
question based on your
But
knowledge about what's happening? What do you think is making some of the brothers and sisters in the want to leave the party, the Democrat Party, based on what you've been observing? What do you think is going on? Because platforms like this, I don't mind having conversations about whatever, as long as it's tied to like getting some of the outcomes. What do you think is happening? Because I'm trying to figure this out. So you've been around for a while, and I would think you might have a way of looking
yeah,
at
I
this.
do. I have a take. 1970, I think I have a take.
Yeah.
Okay, my opinion of it is that they do not understand politics. Okay?
There you go.
They do not. Zeus,
Talk to
you've
him.
taught me so much about politics. I like your twist on it. Other than the sending them to hell, I like the whole twist of
She's honest.
you letting us hear Donald Trump's voice say what he's saying. So we can.
Oh, see, the phone came. The phone came. Come on, now. Come on now. You giving them that kibble they need this morning. Let's go.
Yeah, so we can have I'm sorry, I had a call.
I
I
know.
I so we can have the evidence of what he's actually saying. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, Zeus, I discovered too, don't
Mm.
read.
Mm.
And I'm opening up well, actually I'm here in my
It's on
office.
fire.
I'm going to start a after school program for women, females, because I want them to be registered nurse like me.
Yeah.
And it's very feasible.
Yeah.
But the system is set up
Mm.
where it's not set up for you for especially for African Americans to thrive.
Yeah.
And they're taking it out of context. So
Mm.
what they're playing, the Republicans are playing on their lack of knowledge.
Wow.
They're playing it big time.
I didn't
So
tell you to
they
come on
say,
TikTok and say that,
oh, the
right?
reason why you don't have food is because the governor that you have that's Democrat, he he said that you're not going to have no food.
While they the ones
And
cutting, while they're
all
the
the
ones
black
cutting the
people,
programs, right?
now
They're the
listen to
ones
this,
covering.
Zeus.
Can you hear me?
All the black people that
Can you hear
have,
me?
I
Can
can
you hear
hear
me?
you.
Aren't they cutting the programs that give them the food though? So when you said, you see how you said that? Because I think we got to make sure they
Yes, it's a
understand that.
twist.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now we have a billionaire that owns the owner of the Patriots' son is running for mayor. Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is a prime example.
Go ahead, get him. Go ahead, get him.
Okay. His name is Koch. You know that Kraft.
Yeah.
You know Kraft owns the Patriots. You know
Yes.
what that means, right? Okay. For example, here's the pitch. There's a lot of wealthy black people in Boston. Okay, with six figures. I wouldn't say wealthy, but six figures.
They got a little check on them. They
we
got a check on
little
them.
check. Okay,
Yeah.
we got
yeah.
money and we got some education behind
Got
it.
it. Got it. I'm listening.
He's trying to pull into that. They're trying to pull into that population because they don't know how many of us. We don't do the census.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't believe in the census.
Got it. I'm listening.
Okay, so they got a targeted population now. They won't come to the community, but they will play off of the community's ignorance and unintelligence. Like they'll play on whatever we don't know. They have a whole team of people. Believe me, they have a whole team of people that do this every day and have a strategy to get this population, because that's the turning point right there.
Got it.
So they play off of our ignorance. They play off of what we don't know and what we take pride in.
I agree.
Okay?
And it's
First
so
of all-
easy. It's so easy to play off their ignorance because
Right, and
they
then-
don't have anything to measure the reality
Right.
and the facts from. They just say, it sounds good to me. It feels right. So I'm going to go along with it.
And Zeus,
Talk to
this is
them.
another thing. They play off of statistics too. It's like you
a big
can't
word.
get statistics from anywhere.
Yeah.
I called the department. I'm doing research on the paper at college.
Yeah.
They tell me, oh, just Google it. I said, you're the Department of Public Health.
Yeah.
And you're telling me to just Google stats on vital statistics? How many drug abusers are in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
How many, the vital statistics, how many births that didn't go to term?
Yeah.
I have to Google it?
And we know that's not the right way to do the research,
So
right?
this is the misconception that so whatever is not working for that's not working for you is because the Democrats did it. Because the Democrats
That's their way of doing it. That's a clever way of bringing it back. Well, listen, Miss Boston, I thank you so much because you
You're
did an
welcome.
outstanding job. We're gonna move it along, but I'm gonna give you a nice follow, and hopefully
thank you.
you can come on back and continue to help educate
I certainly
and
will. That's
penetrate
what I
these.
do.
All right, and
All
I gotta
right.
say thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Boston Beauty. No. Lies detected. There you go. Yes, alter ego. She did provide an education. You know, the good book says something. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. And I understand that a lot of the knowledge and a lot of the discussions that you're hearing on my show, ladies and gentlemen, to a lot of the Trump supporters, it's going right over their heads. They have no clue what's being said. And alter ego, I know you say you're not a Trump supporter, but you sometimes honestly ask questions that remind me of a Trump supporter. So if you don't want that energy, I just got to tell you, you got to knock it off. All right, W. Zeus. We want this information to get out there because a lot of what she said is very true. A lot of black people who vote for Donald Trump, they have no clue why they're doing it. They're not that bright. 64% of most Trump supporters don't have a college degree. And then you put that into the category of just, okay, how many of these black Trump supporters are truly educated? It doesn't look good. All right. That's why I tell all the blagger folks, newsflash, you are Pookie. You are Ray W. Zeus. You gonna call it? Because this is why I get on Blagger so tough. You grow up in these inner cities. Like, I'm a black man in America, and I was telling the guy yesterday, Mr. No Sir, I was on his live saying this, and I said, listen, have I been racially profiled? Absolutely. I know what it's like. And to be a black man in America, you got to understand when you walk out in public, you got to move different, right? You don't want to be doing anything that's going to attract any unnecessary attention on you, right? And so there was a period in our life, from where I'm at, right? You go, oh, I'm calling the police. Well, we don't do that. We can take care of our own problem. We don't want to bring the man into this, right? That's how it used to be. Now in 2025, they didn't go on beyond just calling the man in. 911. Nah, don't send the cops. Send the National Guard here. Yeah, they getting out of hand. What? That's what I said. Whoa, boom, wow. My grandmother would be like, "What? You calling the cops? Why? You can't. We can take care of that. We can, pray about it. We can, go talk to their family, meet about it, and talk about it. We could try to work this out on. You gonna bring the man in? No, I'm not just bringing the man in. I'm bringing the United States military in." How disconnected have you brothers and sisters really got? And they don't understand that when the military comes in, they coming for you. Yeah, you that made that call. The military will be coming in for you. So they're gonna get like 2, 3, or maybe even 10 for the price of one. W Zeus. And that's what I'm trying to teach Blagger. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move it along. All right, who do we got? Oh, look who showed up, Mr. No Sir himself. You finally, so you invite me to your platform to help you see the light, and now you come back here to see the light. Is that what's going on?
Well, TikTok kind of said, "Hey, Zeus, invite Zeus up here." I did it. I
Got it.
appreciate you coming,
Yeah.
but man, you reached a all-time low by putting this man in a box, man. You are wrong for that,
Who?
man.
Who did?
Trump, the man is 80 years old. You said he was gonna be in a box soon. He can't walk and all that bad propaganda, man. What's up with that?
Yeah, you don't. You think? Have you seen his health lately?
He's 80 years old. It's okay. If he is on his last go round, you know what? He always be able to say he beat one of the worst candidates to ever walk this earth and run for president.
Mm.
What you think about that?
That doesn't even move me. I'm gonna be honest with you. If that's all
Of
you,
course it don't.
let me
Only
ask you
thing that
this.
moves you is you and Q Dog running around talking about how racist everybody is.
So let me
This
let
lady, the lady that was just up said Boston is so racist, but there's so many rich black people in Boston.
Can we talk? So
Make it
let
make
me
sense.
let me. How are you winning right now? Because
It
I
ain't
get it.
about
I get
winning.
it. I get it.
It's
I
not
get it.
about winning. I'm not.
You.
I'm not in
I'll
the
give you this.
competition.
I'll give you this. No, sir. You are the best Trump cheerleader today that I've ran across. I'll give you that. So you could
I'm
put the
not cheerleading for Trump.
pom poms away and just tell us what
I'm
are
not
you.
cheerleading. He's the president. You should
The,
want the
the,
president to
the,
be
the only
safe and
thing you're
healthy.
trying to get points for is saying he beat Kamala Harris. Is that the thing that's making you happy right
No,
now?
he's
While the
beating
econ,
back. He's beating back the liberal media. The
no, he's not.
economy's moving pretty good.
No, no, no,
I
no,
mean,
no. He's not. He's not
he,
actually. Wait. Did I hear you say the economy is doing pretty
yeah, the
good?
economy's doing pretty good. It's
Do you,
holding up. I don't
okay,
see.
okay. Do
I
you
don't
have your
see
utility
a
bill?
rise.
Do you have your
Yeah, my
utility
utility
bill?
bill is great.
Yeah,
You mean electric bill?
yeah. All that has it been cut in
It's
half?
great.
Has it
It's
been cut in
great.
half?
It's great. It was
Did I?
never that high anyway. I mean,
So your no, sir. We want to see it. Could you show us your utility bill?
I'm not about to show you my utility
No,
bill so
okay,
you
so
can
that's
write
that's
down my address.
so that's
Y'all want
okay.
to know where
Show us your.
everybody
Can you
lives.
show us your
You want to
401k?
know
You want to
my
show us your?
401k. I don't collect in the 401k anymore.
Oh wow.
I stopped
Show
doing that.
show us your last
Ain't
grocery
no cap
bill.
on that.
You go to the store and buy any groceries lately? You
Nah,
got a
my wife
receipt?
go to the grocery store.
Do
I
you
don't
have
do
a
the grocery
receipt or
store.
anything we can use to fact check any of this stuff?
The fact check what? I know the price of groceries is a little up, but what you got to do is you got to bargain shop. You got to get your coupons together, and we've been doing that as a nation forever. Stop fear mongering like everybody's gonna be taken in by the military or they're coming for you. What's going on, Zeus, man? You gotta chill out, dude.
Okay, so
This is
you,
bad
so
propaganda.
when you come up here and actually tell me to not do something, I want you to know you might as well just put the battery in the back of me and just go turn up. I'm gonna do
Okay,
everything you just said do. You
okay,
understand?
you
Because
gonna
that's how
turn
this
up?
works. Yeah,
You're
we're
gonna
never
turn up
gonna.
for Gavin, huh?
Oh, shout out to W. Gavin Newsom.
Gavin.
Yeah, because you know what Governor Gavin Newsom is doing. You know what Governor Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Christopher Newsom, who's the son, the nephew of Nancy Pelosi herself.
Okay. You got a problem
Oh
with
my
all of that?
goodness.
You
Yes, I
got
do
the
have a problem
you
with
got the
that.
family tree out.
I have an issue with career politicians in general. That's why I voted for Trump.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you: do you have an issue with crime? You have an issue with
Crime about
criminals?
what?
You have an issue with
Criminals?
criminals? Yeah.
Yes, I have an issue
No,
with
you
any
don't. No,
criminal,
that's what I
regardless of
thought.
color,
That's what I thought.
regardless of race.
That's what I thought. No, sir. And I could tell you're lying because why'd you vote for one?
How, Sway? He wasn't a criminal until he ran for president.
No,
How?
actually, he was a
How?
criminal the whole time. When you
No, he
found out,
wasn't.
yeah, he's been a criminal. Why would you vote for somebody that was hanging out with Epstein?
Hanging out with. I didn't know anything about Epstein. Shout out to Mr. Trump for bringing forth Epstein and getting locked up, and now he's out of here.
So you support Donald
Good
Trump?
job, Trump.
Okay,
Good job.
all right, all right. Well, so,
Kamala Harris and
so
Sleepy Joe slept on
can I
those.
ask you?
They knew
Can
exactly what was going on with
oh,
Epstein, and
okay,
only Trump came
yeah,
forward
and
and brought it out. You
okay,
wouldn't know.
so
You wouldn't even know anything about Epstein if it wasn't for Trump.
mm,
Right or wrong.
and okay, so you're done. Because
Snippy
when you
Joe, Snippy
so
Joe.
so so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What do you know about? Hold on. What do you know about Epstein?
What do I know about him?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know much about him. I just know he
I thought we.
made money.
What
He
has
made
Trump?
money somehow. I don't know how he got
Okay,
rich.
you said I wouldn't know about Epstein if it wasn't for Trump. So what has Trump taught you about Jeffrey Epstein?
That he's a creep. Didn't you just hear him say
Oh,
that?
that's all he's taught you about
And
that
he booted him off his reservation or whatever down
reservation.
at Mar-Lago. That's a nice. Hey, that's a reservation of
I,
mine.
okay. Well, listen, no, sir. I think you've made your stop on this show, and you've done the
Hey,
routine you've always done. I don't know who's
it's not
worse,
a
ladies.
routine.
Who's worse? Is no sir worse than DJ, or is DJ worse
No,
than no sir?
I was a
I
I
got,
was a
I got.
Biden supporter until
No, no.
Biden didn't even stand
Please,
up to me.
please, bro.
Until
You've
he
done
started
enough.
mumbling,
Okay.
fumbling Joe Biden.
Okay. All right. So no, sir. I gotta move it on, brother. All right. But
Okay,
at the end of the day, congratulations. You did an outstanding job being the
okay,
best
I'm going to
Donald.
heaven, right? You sending me to heaven, right?
Yeah. You're going straight there.
That's what's up, man.
All
Shout
right.
out to the military.
All
Shout
right,
out
ladies
to
and gentlemen. Unfortunately, that brother is on his way not to heaven. Where he's going straight to hell.
Silence, you matter daily.
Jesus. And I really listened to him more than I needed to, and I only gave him that level of that pass because when I go onto their platforms, they do respect Big Zeus when I'm on their platforms, and I got to say, okay, fine, I'll hear you out. But what I don't want to do is allow people to be fed misinformation for way too long, because I understand that's counterproductive to all the great work that we've been doing, especially all of you in the audience. So thank you to all of you in the audience. I know it's very, very painful, but you got to keep in mind, a lot of people, this is their very first time watching this platform, and they really want to see how we navigate these kind of conversations where it's clearly a bunch of misinformation and a bunch of disinformation, right? But they might be watching this for the very first time and going, oh, I didn't think about the way Zeus or whoever comes up handled that. And so what we're doing is we're making sure people understand. Number one, we're not intimidated by you and your incompetence, Mag, and we're not. All right. And when I do show up, I consider this to be a form of work, right? When I do show up, I understand that I've made a time commitment to make sure, okay, whatever comes across my desk, I'll handle it and show people that, this is how you should deal with brothers and sisters out here who are truly terribly educated, poorly educated, and just running around here on TikTok repeating Russian talking points. When they say the economy is doing great, you know what a good idea is? Just tell them, show us your utility bill, right? Just show us your utility bill, because all this doesn't even add up. But if you show me a utility bill, I'm going to keep saying this, and then you know what someone's going to do? They're going to go probably Photoshop a utility bill that shows $5 just to try to prove me wrong. But we're going to see right through that. Show us your utility bills. Show us your bank account. Show us your 401ks, and we'll decide. And you got to be able to go back, because a lot of those accounts, you can go back in years and look at what it was. We'll be able to fact check you and tell you whether or not it's right. But a lot of us know when Donald Trump talks and he's saying, "Oh, gas is $1.99 in 5 states," we're like, okay, that's a flat out lie. And you Trump supporters, y'all know it. So stop lying. All right, let's go on to the next panelist. Who do we have next? All right, who do we have? Oh my God, let me talk to my sister. Good morning, Takesha. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. How was your weekend?
It was okay, Zeus. How was yours?
It was okay, as you can see. We're back in the Thunderdome.
Let me comment on Slow Joe right quick. Because we ain't going to call him what he named himself. We're going to call him Slow Sir. Little Slow Sir. Slow Sir said the economy is doing good. Then when you said, well, show us your energy bill, Slow Sir said, you mean your light bill? Well, it's about the same as it always has been. Well, just show us a copy. I ain't got to do that, Zeus. You know, because everybody light bill going up. I don't care what he say. My cousin got her bill, her budget done went up. So you know he lying with that.
Yes.
And then Slow Sir said that he doesn't, pay into 401k. And then Slow Sir said, yeah, groceries are going up, I'll admit that. But we've been couponing. Why would we have to coupon if Donald Trump said he was going to bring groceries down? Why would we need coupons, Zeus?
Talk to him. Go ahead, Takesha, because he had the audacity to say he want to come talk to you. He said I see him in the guest request. You must have heard his feelings.
Again, Slow Sir said that we can coupon like we always have. But when somebody tell me they bringing prices down, I shouldn't need a coupon, Zeus.
Thank
because
you.
the prices are so low that a coupon won't even make a difference.
Slow Sir, listen up. You got a way of getting him triggered. I got to give it to you.
Baby, I'm not staying Slow Sir. Slow Sir is the same kind of black person that say I voted Republican because the Democrats have held me back all these years. Because they believe that every election, came for a Democrat president.
Right.
There's never been a Republican president. You ain't did good in 15 years, but you blame the Democrats because you voted for them when a Republican was in office too.
Thank you.
So if you didn't progress under the Republican or the Democrat, how is it the Democrat fault?
Bingo.
It's your fault, Slow Sir.
Yeah, Slow Sir. Yeah, you've been walking around on this planet. He's been walking around on this planet for years, not getting it, and he's been led to believe he's not getting it because of the Democrats. Imagine being that kind of a person.
Slow Sir is not getting it because of Slow Sir. That's why he's not getting it. And then another thing he said, they such hypocrites. He kept saying, Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
And then he came up here to get on you about you saying that Trump almost in the box. And then he said, well, the man is almost 80, Zeus. Now you got an excuse for why Trump acting like he act. But it's Sleepy Joe. Like Joe Biden ain't older than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
See, you see how they just hypocrites, Zeus?
Hypocrites. Yeah.
Blagger.
Yeah.
Who gonna get picked up in Chicago if they walk out there with a t-shirt on and some jeans and some Jordans? You ain't gonna be able to tell them from the other.
Tell them to do that. Isn't that crazy that they think when they call the police that the cops gonna come there and say,
And
"Oh, y'all,
hey,
yeah."
They gonna say, "Hey, are you a Trump supporter? Well, you're safe. Just go back in the house, baby. Bye."
You ain't buying that. You ain't buying that.
And they ain't buying it either because they ain't got no money to do so in this economy.
Woo!
So listen, Zeus, I want to get on you Friday because I need to. First, I'm gonna correct DJ on something he said, and then I'm gonna correct you on something you gave DJ credit for.
Okay.
DJ said he's never got on here and changed his mind about anything he said. Do you remember when we first started talking about the Epstein files? And DJ said, now, Zeus, if it comes out that Donald Trump, in fact, was in those files, then I'll pull my support.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
And now guess what he's saying?
What he's saying?
I mean, you got to make sure that although he's in the files, that he's done something wrong.
Oh my!
You just can't go by not just being in the files. You got to make sure he's done something wrong.
That
while
sounds like
being in the files. Isn't that changing what you said, Zeus?
That's changing what he said. Yeah, he must think I'm a fool. DJ must think I'm a fool.
Let me get on you. You said you was proud of DJ.
Yeah, I did.
He said he was no longer Republican.
Yeah, he
Did
said
the first reason he said he wasn't one.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you didn't because you were talking.
Oh, okay,
DJ
maybe.
said that he was no longer Republican because Congress has been in power for months and have not made Donald Trump's executive orders law.
Wow.
Ain't nobody giving DJ no brownie points because he want the foolishness Trump right back.
W to Keisha. Wow, you're right.
So DJ mad because the foolishness that Donald Trump keep trying to make an executive order is not a law. So guess where he still lives?
Where?
A Trump humper.
Oh, DJ ain't that bright. W to Keisha. Wow. Trump humper. Wow. So you
Now I
think?
got one more
Go ahead, get it
thing,
off.
too,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'm gonna let you go. I follow this lady named Tab Speaks,
I know
and
of
she
her.
brought on a very good video. She said in 2 minutes of Todd Blanche's video, she's the recording. She said, "I want y'all to pay attention." Todd Blanche said, after everybody gave their names,
Yeah.
you know, Gizelle.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah.
call her,
Yeah.
Gizelle. Gizzy, whoever she is.
Yeah.
He said, now you and I had a chat before the recording.
Yeah.
So what you had a chat with her for before you start recording the conversation? Because he had to say, hey, check this out. We need you to clear Bill Clinton too. So it can sound like you're not just trying to say Trump. See, you got to make it look like you taking up for a Republican too. So, I mean, a Democrat too. So they won't think you just trying to say the Republican president. So say Bill Clinton didn't do nothing wrong too. So you'll sound more believable. Now let's start the recording.
Oh.
That's what happened.
Dangling her freedom right into her face like that.
That's
Yeah.
what happened. And look, we gonna move you, and then eventually Trump gonna get you out. Cause see, these people that believe everything he say, they gonna start having empathy for you. They gonna start saying you was dragged in with Epstein, even though you brought the children to Epstein. We gonna make it, they gonna start having empathy. Cause Trump gonna start talking good about you, and MAGA gonna start talking good about you. Then you gonna look real good. So when Trump pardon you, they ain't gonna have no problem with it.
Yeah.
So you just go along with what I tell you to say. And you gonna get your get out of jail free card.
W to Keisha. Did you listen to the audio? How much of it wasn't that the most that you couldn't help but while listening to her talk go, this is disgusting. This is sick.
Zeus, I know
He's
that.
so guilty. If you listen
I
to
know
that, you
that
got to walk
new-
away saying he's guilty.
I know that nose grew all the way out of the jail cell, all the way to the next prison. They gave her a ride to move.
Yeah.
Because that nose was growing like Pinocchio. There was so many lies. If that sounded real to anybody,
Yeah.
bless your heart. I don't believe nothing that lady say. Period, point blank. Because they caught you lying when you did your first time and
Yeah.
sit down.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you credible? Baby, please.
She said she didn't know anything about what he was doing, but she was on his payroll, wasn't she? She all on his payroll, moving money around, but I had no clue what I wasn't a part of nothing. Lady, you've been convicted.
Those women were not lying on that lady.
No.
She participated and she got them to him. She
Yeah.
need to just stop lying. Hell is her destination.
Yeah.
And I mean hell her destination.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know who looked bad
Who?
Friday? Donald Trump in the Oval Office giving that press conference.
Yeah.
Did you see his skin and stuff? Trump is not well.
Nope.
And they could tell us he will all they want to. Why they said we was hiring Joe Biden.
Yeah.
They hiring Donald Trump like a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, this is the real cover up right now. As far as I'm concerned, there's two major cover ups right now. One is obviously what you just said, the Epstein files. But his health, this is undeniable. This is irrefutable. They're literally letting this man with his swollen ankles, his cursed hands. It's two hands now that are cursed. The hearing loss, the gibberish and the talking. This is all not going to end well.
Zeus, we are witnessing Maybelline Queen 1 and Maybelline Queen 2.
Yeah.
JD Vance Maybelline Queen 1 and Trump gonna be Maybelline Queen 2. Because they gonna pack so much foundation on his face to make him look young.
Yeah.
And they gonna think they fooling the masses and they ain't fooling nobody but MAGA asses. All right, Zeus.
W to Keisha. No lies detected. You see, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I can get it wrong, and Takesha said that I was wrong, and so that's how humble I am. All right, and so when they try to say, "Oh, Zeus is it's all make believe," and this is what I like, right? It's not everyone in here is in a cult. No, they just understand that when you love the truth, you got to tell it. All right, so DJ, I guess what they're saying is you may have tried to convince me the other day, Friday, that you're leaving the Republican Party, but you got a lot more work to do, and no one believes you, especially Takesha. So stop lying, DJ. And I know Trump is on TV right now. What is he doing? Signing executive orders, putting the National Guard into Democrat cities, and hiring unqualified people to work in law enforcement. You all know what this is about. This is an obvious sign that he knows his days on Earth are truly, truly numbered because of his health. All right, and we're gonna make sure. We're going to make sure that gets out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, bring up my brother Nutty. Good morning, Nutty. How are you doing this morning?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey! Look at the raccoon. Where you get that
So you didn't realize. So I went to No Sir's LinkedIn, and this is how he looks on his LinkedIn. This is a picture of No Sir. So I just thought I'd give everyone a chance, the opportunity to see what That's a quite good looking.
Well, the raccoon looks,
quite good
some
looking coon, yeah.
somebody said it looks cute. All right, and so what do you say to that? I mean, because
listen. If you're into rabies, of course it's cute.
Hey.
And you know what's really interesting, G?
What's that?
Something about raccoons is that they're trash feeders. They're opportunists.
Yep.
And they live in the trash.
Is that true?
Oh, it's absolutely true.
Mm.
And they're some of the dirtiest animals on the planet. They are rabies carriers, and they're mean AF.
Yeah.
So if you look at a family of raccoons, when you see a family of raccoons, where are they typically living? They're living in sewers.
Yeah.
They're living under trash. And you only see them mostly at night. So if you see a raccoon during the day, the chances are it's a high probability that coon carries rabies if you see it during the day, because they are bottom feeders and they're night crawlers.
Yeah. He's not lying. I run when I see them, honestly, because I don't want to get into it with them, to be honest with you.
I mean, you can use your Google machine and you can look up raccoons. So Takesha said a couple things that listen, Takesha has a way of, even though it's in levity, she's not lying. She isn't lying.
Yeah.
We all enjoy hearing Takesha because when she's speaking, we're all having a good time. We're being entertained.
Yeah.
But you gotta go beyond the entertainment, and you gotta listen to the message, because what she's saying is actually truth. So here's the issue that I have with people like Mr. Picture in the Box here, is that I heard him say, the man is 80 years old. What do you expect? But prior to former President Biden stepping down from running for re-election,
right.
what was the narrative? He was this. He was that. In fact, Zeus, I even heard on some live that they were claiming that the person that we were seeing on television was a body double because the real person was unalive.
I've heard that before as well. Yeah.
Because he is so old and so decrepit that he cannot do his job, that they're hiding him from the public, but yet, I don't know. They just they went off in their own la la land there.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
But now he's 80 years old, Zeus. What do you expect? What do you expect?
That's a cop out. That's a cop out, MAGA. When they say that, no, what I expect is for you to demand that he step down and resign. That's what I expect.
Because based on math, calculations,
Stevie J, no, it's not false. It's true, Stevie J.
Donald Trump is only 2.5 years younger than Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Not even 3 years younger.
Yeah. Go point it.
2 years and some months younger than Joe Biden.
Yeah. Elder abuse, right? Tinkerbell, it's elder abuse.
Zeus, here's the amazing thing about Joe. Even though Joe stuttered, though Joe did absolutely slow down
Yeah.
right before our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't as Whittier.
Yeah.
His brain still worked, Zeus. His brain still worked. And
Yeah.
he still worked for the American people. He still worked for U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
He still worked for the undocumented. I know I'm going to trigger them for saying that.
Yeah.
But he still worked for humanity.
Yep.
He wasn't out there signing executive orders attacking U.S. citizens.
You
He
hear
didn't
that?
send a gulag to U.S. cities, putting the military in front of U.S. citizens. He wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
But what is Donald Trump doing? And then
Embarrassed.
they want to say, well, Gavin Newsom, he's Nancy Pelosi's nephew. Well, George W. Bush was the son of George Bush.
You hear that?
Nancy Pelosi nor Gavin Newsom, neither one of them served or is serving as the president of the United States of America. So I could care less who he's related to. I care more about what he's doing. Big ups to Prop 50. So yes, even though I'm not a resident of California, I will be promoting Prop 50.
So you support Gavin Newsom, in other words?
You know what? Listen, listen. I know Gavin is not a perfect person. I know that Californians have some issues with Gavin, and you know what? They should.
Yeah.
Because you should not be a bootlicker for any person, especially an elected official. And what's crazy about them complaining about Gavin Newsom, he's term limited. This is his last term in office. So he can't be governor of California again.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I have no issues with Gavin Newsom. Why do I not have issues with Gavin Newsom? Because I am not a resident of California, and it's none of my damn business.
Thank you. And he's actually, and I'm going to say this: anybody complaining about Gavin Newsom, please come talk to Big Zeus, and I promise you, it'll be the worst day of your life. Because how do you run the fourth largest economy in the world? Right. And their only thing is, well, people are leaving California because and I go, well, that doesn't talk about the people who are flooding into this state. There's so many people flooding into California because all the things California has to offer. I mean, you got good sports teams, you got good culture. I mean, great food, great places to go in terms of tourism. And these people will sit back and try to convince you that the fourth largest economy in the world isn't that great. But then they'll turn around and you know what they'll do? They'll come out here and work in California and then complain about Governor Gavin Newsom. These are some of the sickest people I've ever seen, Nutty. Seriously.
Zeus, it is. But you know what's funny? A lot of people are indeed leaving California. But if you look at the statistics, when you look at the statistics with the people leaving compared to the people coming,
yeah,
it equals out.
Thank you. And that's what I was trying to
say. In fact, Zeus, the people coming is on a little higher increase than the people leaving.
Bingo. That's what I was trying to illustrate to people. I don't know where they're getting these stories, and this is why I think Governor Gavin Newsom is doing an outstanding job. Okay, you think California is a failed state, but how much does California contribute to the federal taxes every year? Billions.
More than any other state in this union.
Yeah.
And they receive the less back from the federal government.
Up to 21 states. 21 states combined, California gives that in taxes. And so when people say, oh, California's a terrible place, you know what I say, Nutty, when they leave? I go, you know what? You look better going than you did coming, W California. When I see people leaving, you look better going than you did coming, honestly.
You know I'm in the state of Missouri.
Yeah.
But see, it is your state of California that takes care of my red state of misery.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, y'all. California take care of Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi, Georgia.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest one. Y'all ready for this one?
Yeah.
Even Texas.
Wow. Yeah. We're going to turn Texas blue, too. Yeah. We're going to turn Texas blue, too. You know, and all the technology they like, all the companies, MAGA, they love Twitter, or as they call it, X. They don't know Twitter was founded out here in California and San Francisco. Think about that, right? You got Facebook. These are apps these people love to use. Google. all the things they love, Apple, all these things they love, Tesla, even Tesla, and they turn around and say, "Oh, California is a terrible place." Please,
Zeus, I'm gonna need you to say it the correct way. It's Tesla.
Tesla. All the benefits they get out of the state of California, and this is why I say God's judgment is truly on this nation. But MAGA has this terrible habit of literally biting the hand that feeds them.
You know it's interesting because all of these tech people that want to come out and simp for Donald Trump that you saw at the inauguration, I don't see them moving their entities out of California. They want to talk about California, but yet they'll take those tax benefits that the Californians are giving them. They want to talk about California, but they're staying there in Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
They want to talk about California, but if you hate California so much, why don't you take the business out of California and put it in Missouri and see how your nasty behind fare from there?
They will be on their knees crawling just to get a smidget of California in their life. Because you never seen these people when they strung out like that. This is what they would do if we kicked them out of California. That's why I say to people, why should we really let you into the Democrat Party? Why should we allow you to have this California sunshine, these beautiful beaches, and access to all these beautiful people? Why should we let you in?
Listen, Zeus, listen, I know you might slap me on the hand for asking the kingdom to do this, but I want to ask the kingdom. I want you to put a 1 in the chat. Now, I want you to listen to the scenario. If you were homeless, because obviously, I'm not going to get into the argument about being homeless is a choice. But if you were homeless and you had the choice of which state you're going to be in, California or Missouri or any other red state, put a 1 if it's going to be California. I'm just curious.
And I'll tell you why. You know why? Because the weather here is pretty stable. If you needed to be out unhoused outside, I would say you would probably not have to worry about in certain places like you go to Tahoe, you're in trouble, but you wouldn't have to worry about snow and
that's the point. That's the point. Even if I don't have a place to lay my head and I have to be outside, I'm going to choose California.
There you go. That's my point. And you got so many different varieties of culture out here that you would be able to run into a lot of people who would just, for the most part, be generous enough to try to help you out and get on the up and up. And that's the other side that, people don't like to understand. That's true. That's why a lot of it is happening in California to a certain degree.
Well, let me get on out of here because I know you got to get out of here soon. But I just want to leave you with this. I know certain people don't like when you send people to hell, but I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Because
it gives us the opportunity, since we can't crash out other ways because we know TikTok be TikToking.
Yeah.
That's our way of crashing out. We'll just send them straight to hell.
There you go. Yeah, and I didn't want to do it, but things have escalated so far on this app, especially when we talk to these people. You can only go so far before you crash out, and then that's when we get straight to judgment, right, Nutty?
Absolutely. So keep doing what you're doing, and respectfully or disrespectfully, if you don't like it here, you can leave.
All right, there you go. W Nutty.
Have a good day, Zeus, and free Kilmar.
There you go. There you go. I mean, you know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We do be having some honest discussions on this show, and it's the most amazing conversation sometimes. To be quite honest with you. All right, let's see. Who do we got next? Thank you, Brother Nutty. Seriously, thank you so much. Who do we got? Who is this? That's what you get. Good morning. How are you? That's what you get. Are you here? Going once. Going twice. That's what you get. Are you there? Well, then, there you go. There you go. That's that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Good morning, Shay. Welcome. How are you doing, Shay? Welcome.
Hey.
How are you doing? Yes.
I'm awesome, my friends. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just tending to the affairs like we normally do.
Yes, yes, yes. You're doing a great job as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kilmar Obrego Garcia.
Yeah.
So he's been released out of custody. In fact, the federal judge said that he should not be touched anymore, right?
Wait a second. He's released now, or I thought he went in
Oh,
this
no,
morning?
no. Yeah, so he was, right?
Oh.
So he's returned home. He hadn't seen his family in 160 days. The reason he was released is because there was no evidence of crime that the Trump administration was trying to pin on him, right? They did not prove their case.
Didn't wait a second. Pam Bondi said there was a grand jury, I think in Tennessee or something, right?
Yep.
And that was all a ruse.
All a ruse. They didn't have the evidence. They didn't support it. So the judges freed him and said that basically he should stay in the United States and should not be deported. He returns home to his family in Maryland. Has seen his kids, his 3 kids, and his wife in 160 days.
Yeah.
He reports back to ICE today.
Yeah.
They have arrested him and are talking about deporting him to where? Uganda. This is the most ridiculous
War crimes.
ridiculous administration I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Wow. So they want to deport him. Now ICE wants to deport him to Uganda, even though he's been released and they said there's no crimes that were committed.
Yeah, there's no crimes. There's no evidence of crime. They didn't have the evidence. They didn't support their case.
Stevie J, you think this is acceptable, Steve J? Steve J, you think this is acceptable? War crimes?
Yeah.
I call them war crimes, Shay.
Yeah, it is. It is. And he rejected Costa Rica. You don't know anything of what he's done. Because any information that you are being told, you're being lied to. And the fact that you guys sat there over and over with the tattoos on his hands and all the lies about the trafficking and all the lies about his criminality and all this stuff. When he was a member of a union, you couldn't have any crime charges on you.
Yeah.
And you had to have some residency in order to get a union card. But no matter what we told you, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
He was a criminal. He had the right to be sent to CCOT. And then you had the President of the United States literally lying about the tattoos on his fingers and making stuff up. And there it is. Why are you calling me white girl, weirdo?
Patrick.
Deny Costa Rica white girl. Are you okay? Are you mentally okay? No, never mind. I don't even know why I asked you that question.
Patrick is one of our friends that are here on their burner accounts. I can see through just by the way they talk. I know exactly which bear it is.
Oh, he's not going anywhere. When a federal judge has said he can't be deported, trust me, they're going to lose this case once again. But I do hope that Abrego Garcia.
Hold on. Alter Ego says Kilmar refused deportation to Costa Rica. Okay, Alter Ego, why is that even an issue? He shouldn't even be detained. He shouldn't even be detained. You understand this? And I remember vividly arguing with Snuggles. He said he will never come back. Now he's back.
Yeah.
This is what you don't realize. Trump is lying to you.
Yeah, it was related to a plea deal. Yeah, he doesn't have to take a plea deal. He doesn't need to do any of this. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
He followed the laws. He followed the ways of getting his residency and his citizenship.
And why would he go to Costa Rica? Isn't he from El Salvador?
Yes, he is.
So why would they? Why
would he go to Uganda? Why would he go anywhere?
Do y'all think about the stuff you say before you say it? Honestly.
Right.
What? Imagine you, Alter Ego. You get detained, and then 2 weeks later, prosecutors show up, sign this plea deal, and we won't sentence you as much. Are you going to sign it if you don't think you did anything? Come on.
No.
Think. Who is Trump using to do all of this? Deep state henchmen, deep state soldiers. These people that are working in there, they're not even really qualified to have these jobs. Why would you take a plea deal from some unqualified people you know are unqualified? It doesn't make any sense. He's put 1,600 plus criminals on the streets.
Yeah, and he can't even deport them correctly. You know, he's releasing them back into the country. He can't even deport. He's 20,000 underneath Biden's numbers. He can't even deport. And now we're making up some country. I mean, I know Uganda exists. That's not what I'm saying. But Now we're just making up places to send these people. Like, what is wrong with you?
And this is the party, Shay.
Right.
What do you don't MAGA, don't the Republicans like to say they're the party of less government?
Oh yes, I love that. But yet somehow the Trump administration is monetizing with American companies. I think that's communism, isn't it? When
Yep.
American companies own pieces of private companies,
Yeah.
isn't that communism?
There you go.
Oh yeah. Mm.
Less government, but here you go. Here's some more National Guard soldiers in your cities. Yeah, less government, but government all up in your business.
All up in states' rights. What about states' rights?
Todd,
When, you know,
good job. Thank you, Shay.
abortion got overturned, it was states' rights. 2A, states' rights.
Yeah.
Everything states' rights. Oh, but all of a sudden, when it comes to states managing their own crime, nope. The administration's saying, nope, we're going to militarize the National Guard.
Yeah.
We're sending the military after only the blue states, right? Whatever
Yeah.
that. Because, you know, Republicans don't live anywhere in Houston or Chicago or New York. You know, his voters don't live there, and I hope they wake up. When they wake up and they walk the streets and they see militarized zones like we're living in Cuba. Like, you know, I mean, I don't understand. So you've got this authoritarian socialism, exactly, Bam, but this is exactly what's going on. And they have told you and told you and told you, oh, communism, you know, he's like, Kamala Harris is a fascist, communist, Marxist. You can't be either three of those at the same time. But this is the problem. You guys have been fear-mongered all your life. You've been told all these key nasty words. But you don't know how to define it. Every time we ask you to define communism, you can't.
Yeah. They can't even spell it. They can't even spell these words. They use them all the time. You know, I go and I talk to these people and they say things and they just throw out random words and you go, can you spell it? And they go, oh, I can't spell it. All right. And it's the saddest thing that I've ever seen.
Patrick, they're going to go here and teach you how to behave. My God, are you a racist or what?
Patrick is. I know for sure Patrick is. That's why Patrick comes in under their blanket account, right?
Behave.
Yeah.
Yes, Massa. Yes, Massa. Please teach them how to behave.
Yeah, and then get the whip and then do that thing to them. And this is why I say a lot of these Trump supporters. Honestly, I don't think they'll be around here, Shay. I don't think they'll be around midterms because when it's all said and done, you know Donald Trump's going to destroy them. They're hell bound.
Yep, absolutely. Yo, sure, we're pro-black murder. Yeah, of course we are, Patrick. 'Cause that makes a lot of sense. You're talking to a black man on a panel.
Yeah.
His life, sure. Are you about pro-black murder, Zeus?
No,
you are.
no,
you
no.
must be.
But I am pro-black
sense,
punishment. I am pro-black punishment. Okay, I'm pro-black punishment because there has to be consequences for what these people have done to this great country of ours. Seriously.
Thank you, Rick. My God, that guy was ridiculous. What in the world?
Yeah.
Conservative Democrat, we don't care if you're MAGA for life. Why don't you get a bumper sticker and then get your butt tattooed? Like, we don't care.
We don't want you. Yeah, I don't want to be in the same party as conservative Democrat. Oh, Terry, hold on, Terry. Wait a minute. Now, Terry, how are we bullies, Terry? When we sit here every morning and we offer you all the free kibble, it's free to you. Because you're not paying us, honestly. We're giving you the free information to be better. We're trying to save your lives, and yet we're the bullies. Something's really wrong. Something's really wrong.
I'm responding to ridiculous comments in the chat, Terry. Why don't you keep up, sweetheart?
Thank you. That's so nice.
I thought you guys were all about like, oh, the left, all they do, the liberal tears, and all they do is whine and cry and fuss. Look at what you're doing. Bully, bully, bully. No.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what's being said.
Thank you.
To a black man in his own life and all of the nonsense that's coming out of everyone's mouths that make no sense and the hatred and the racism. So, Terry, you're on the wrong side if you care about people that are bullies, sweetheart.
Thank you. W. Shay. That's the truth.
In the history of our country. And I'm loving the Gavin Newsom game. I'm thinking this is just, it's finally what we've needed to do. That's why, you know, we get as level-headed frustrated with the Democratic Party and the leaders of the Democrat Party because we're always playing Mr. and Mrs. Nice Guy, right?
Yeah.
We're always the intellectuals. We're always the ones trying to take care of the people. We're always the ones trying to be bigger and better. We're always the ones trying to go high, when they go low, right? Well, even Michelle Obama is saying, don't listen to me. I was wrong. We need to go low. Like, we need to go right to H-E-L-L and just take it there, because we have allowed these people to run amok, say what they want to say, get away with everything, and not fight the same way they've been fighting. And it's time to do it. And I'm loving
Thank you.
how we're doing this. We're responding to gerrymandering and playing the same game back. And it's just time. It's been time. And it's just, and look at them crying about, oh my God, New York's going to gerrymander, Gavin Newsom's going to gerrymander. But y'all didn't have the same thing when the President of the United States asked the governor of Texas to give him 5 seats and halfway through the census in 5 years. What the heck? You're not crying about that. You should be.
Yeah.
And the only reason they're doing it is because they know you're going to get beat in the midterms.
Bingo.
They know this. They know the pendulum swinging. Every statistics out there that says people are going to be responding to these militarized streets. The high price numbers. The GDP is down now to 1.2%.
Let's go.
Come on.
Tell them, Shay.
Going here. It's just getting worse and worse.
And they won't show us their bills. These Trump supporters, they won't show us their utility bills. They won't show us their paychecks. They won't show us their bank accounts. They won't show us their 401ks, but they will swear up and down everything's all right. Give us a break, all right? And we don't buy it. We know the grocery prices are going up, all right?
Exactly. And I'll end with this, my friends. I know you got to go. If you knew that your policies were popular, why would you need a gerrymander? You know your policies are not popular with the majority of this country, and the only people that still believe in it are the racists and the haters. That's all. They're loving to watch these people being shackled. They'll be tasty, right, Janae? Tasty. Mexicans are tasty. Yeah. This is the BS that you guys talk about on your side, and that stuff's not popular with the common people.
Yeah.
So, and you're gonna lose badly.
Yeah.
But let's go, guys. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day in the kingdom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. W. Shay in the chat. No lies detected. Yeah, I rebuke Janae too, Queen Flea. Yeah, we rebuke these demons in the name. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. The beautiful. Bye. Oops, I dropped my own account. All right, well, you know what? That's a good sign. All right. Oh, look at this. The beautiful Ange. Good morning, Ange. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Hey, how's it going? I had an Ange raid earlier. People said you were doing a show, and then they all came over here, so I got to say thank
you. You're very welcome.
Yes.
First thing I'd like to say is, sadly, today is 6 years ago today. I lost my dad.
Oh.
So I woke up really bummed, and I remembered his words saying, "Angela, winners never quit," and whatever. That's saying he used to say.
Yeah.
And so I could hear him say, "Angela, get up and fight these Trumpers. You have to get up. You can't just sit around and be lazy. You got to get up. You've been doing this almost 3 years. You need to get up." So that is what I did.
Dad. Wow, he said that to you?
Oh, of course.
Wow, I got to give him Dad. And it's a sad thing, but it's a great thing because he left us something. He left us something that we can all chew on the rest of the day. Thank you. Thank you, Dad.
He might have had more accounts than attacking by the time he was down at feet.
That says a lot because attacking has like 80 accounts already.
Yeah, Dad would have 81.
Wow.
At least. But yeah, he did not care for him. But anyway, we're going to move along to this. My question is, they're all worried about this crime in D.C. and where else have they gone? Illinois. I don't know where they're going next. They're trying to get into Boston. Here's my thing. Yeah, here's my thing. Mike Johnson's district has much higher crime per capita than any of those other cities that I just named.
Yep.
Why aren't they going there? Why don't they go there? It's not really making a whole lot of sense to me. Oh, wait. Is that a red state? Can you
W Terra. Yes, it's a red state. It's a W. It's a W. W Terra.
I wasn't looking.
She was looking, but you're right, Ange. It's a red state.
So yeah, it sounds pretty W Terror, by the way. It sounds pretty unsafe, and I think they ought to make a little trip down to Mike Johnson's district before they
Yeah.
start heading up to San Francisco, Illinois, Chicago, Boston, all these other places,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But this is how it starts. This
Yeah.
is how it starts, people. I don't want to be the alarmist,
Yeah.
but this is how it starts. A CW.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You think this is how it starts in terms of them doing things to basically? I call it.
I do.
You know what it is. I call them war crimes. I call it terrorism. All of
Yep.
these things because obviously they are so scared they're not going to win during the midterms, right?
Well, exactly. And I think Shay said we're going to beat them. No, we're going to destroy them.
Thank
And
you.
that's they know it. They know that it's coming. And as far as policies, what policies? I don't know what his policies are other than to throw black and brown people out of our country.
Bingo.
That's the only thing I can think of that he is so focused on. And I'm going to go back to something I started 3 years ago. We're going to
Talk.
talk. I'm going to do it real quick. The 14 tenets of fascism. Okay.
Uh
Can I read
oh.
them real quick?
You sure can.
Okay, so one of them is they make up constant mottos. So that MAGA. Oh, make America great again. That kind of
Bingo.
sounds like one to me. Okay,
Check.
and they do flags. They have their flags for, their Jesus, their Trump, and I mean I don't know about you, but I'm not wearing any. Actually, I'm not going to lie. I have one Bernie T-shirt, but
Yeah.
other than that, my whole identity is not the person that I have voted for. It's just weird. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
You have disdain for the recognition of human rights. Does that sound familiar at all?
Yep.
That one too? Okay. And the supremacy of military. That one really sounds really,
Yeah.
really sounds.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. That
Right?
is them. These you're defining them. Wow. You all of these
Yeah.
are checks.
These are all checks. Rampant sexism, controlled mass media, obsession with national security, religious and government intertwined, corporate power, protected labor power suppressed.
Yep.
Let's see. I had them all written down. I used to have them on top of my head. Disdain for the intellectuals, obsession with crime and punishment.
Yeah.
Rampant corruption and fraudulent
The
elections.
rampant.
Does
Yep.
that not check every box?
That's the current regime right now running the
It
country.
is.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that's called fascism. I
Wow.
just want to let you guys
Thank
know.
you.
Go look it up. It checks every box. I'm gonna let you go now. I know you gotta get out of here. Thanks everybody. Thanks.
All
for
right,
listening.
all right.
I appreciate you.
WW Ange, ladies and gentlemen. No lies detected. You see, ladies and gentlemen. What
Can
was
you
that?
drop me down? Can you drop
Oh.
me down? It says my name is Shay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't see it like that, but I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. See, ladies and gentlemen, what a show of force. W Zeus. Ladies and gentlemen, this is incredible. Thank you so much, Ange. You're totally right. I mean, these people know that we're living under a fascist regime and that they've totally voted for this. And unfortunately, hell will be their portion, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll get to that in short order. All right. Now, I got to get up out of here, but I want to try to check in with Tracy. Oh, Dark Maga Scott, give it a break. Zip it. W Zeus. Tracy, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Thank you for having me on.
All right, all right. What brings you to the show? You said you had some news to share with us.
Well, there's two things that's bothering me a lot.
Mm,
One is the propaganda in the same playbook that they always run. And I'm tired of seeing it and tired of people falling for it.
yeah.
And the Epstein files
Okay.
that's way bigger than Trump
Mm,
himself.
talk to us.
The propaganda part, you had touched on it a little bit earlier with Blagger
Yeah.
and our folks. Every time, like I'm tired of them saying who's black and who's not. And
Yeah.
every time somebody gets to some level, they want to
Mm-hmm.
throw in that they're not really black or they're
Yeah.
not black enough.
Yeah.
And it's either because they're mixed, but almost all of us have some mix going on,
I do.
or now our
Yep.
girl Jasmine, they're
Mm.
saying she's not enough because she's educated.
Oh, they always try to take from you, huh? Ain't that incredible? But then they want to get out here and say,
That
we got to stop all this stuff happening in our inner cities with crime. Okay, well then when you get people who are examples of success, they try to tear you down. Ain't that something?
Yeah, it is. Now, to be black, you do not necessarily have to be poor or
Mm.
be from the ghetto.
Yeah.
That does not define black. We has made great strides.
Yeah.
We have, not all, just because you've made it to middle class does not change your color, does
Yeah.
not change the amount of melanin you have, and does not change if you're going to get discriminated against when you
Yeah.
walk into the bank or if they're going to pick you up on the street. They're not asking if you have a degree, you black, you black.
You're black. You're black. Case closed. I don't got time to debate it.
All other days is if you have an eighth of black in you, you black. But as soon as somebody gets there, and people fall for it, it's the same playbook every time of how to divide us, how to make folks, you know, not vote for them, give them some talking point, and that one of they're not really black. If I could, like, if you would flush them all for me when they come up with that one, I
Yeah.
would greatly
They when they
appreciate it.
when they say they're not really black, you just want me to go ahead and send them straight to hell.
Don't even let them say one more word. Like
Fair enough.
just to
I'll submit that to the customer support team. All right, because that's probably a good thing to do, and then we'll go back and rethink about it. But you might be right. If they get up here and they say stuff like that, it's treason. I could see how it could be considered treasonous in a way.
yeah, like stop defining being black as you have to be poor or you have to be from the ghetto.
Yeah.
That is not a definition of
That
black.
that's what they think being black is. If that's your definition of being black, honestly, you deserve to go to hell because that's totally unacceptable. All the great things these black inventors have created, and they like to take credit for it. You know, isn't it funny? When they want to, they'll go, "Oh, look at all these black people that have invented these things." But you know what they would do if they actually got to talk to these black people? They would call them Democrats and just all kinds of things to try to tear them down. Ain't that something? They want to take credit for what black people do, but they never want to be respectful to black people. And that's something. And we're talking about Blaga in particular because they're lost.
Yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah.
getting on to another one of my pet peeves about it is that
Mm-hmm.
we are great at more than just sports and entertainment.
Thank you. Tell
It's
them,
not
Tracy.
just sports and entertainment. When you look, you said at the inventions and the no, we have. Don't get me the back to talking about Timbuktu and what we was
Mm.
doing back then
Yeah.
before everybody. Like we can go way back,
Yeah.
and we were doing great things
Yeah.
besides playing sports, and that's just the only thing that they publicize that we're doing well.
Yeah. Tell them. Tell them. Now you were going to talk about Epstein, and then I gotta get up out of here. What were you going to say about
Okay,
Epstein?
well, that of course Trump is in it, but I think it's bigger than Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, now it shows that he's compromised.
Yep. The highest level.
But so are all the other people that are in it, and it's other countries that know about it. You know what I mean? They have the files and know. Their people were in it and
Yep.
know,
Thank you.
and it needs to come out for more than this Trump. I don't care if he goes away tomorrow, if he expires before we can bring him to account for it. We still need to know because all them people are compromised.
Thank you. Thank and it's so easy to see. You can even see it. We all can see it. And that's what makes it even more alarming is we all see it. We all see the cover up. And yet his supporters continue to defend this evil stuff. That's sick, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And that it has to do with the PDFers. Like, come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, there's the compromise of it, but that you would allow this to continue to happen to children. Like, that was supposed to be the breaking point. We all agree you protect children.
Mm-hmm. Tell him. Tell him. Well, we know what? We're going to keep up the great work, all right, Tracy? And I got to get up out of here. I'm looking at the clock. We're down to the wire. But I thank you so much for being patient with me and coming up here and sharing your truth, all right? Come on back.
I thank you too.
All right, W. Tracy.
All right, good day.
All right, you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look at the time. Big Zeus does have to get up out of here. I know, I know. But, before I do, I want to give each and every single one of you a huge round of applause, all of you in the audience. Thank you for once again tuning in. One of the most incredible experiences on TikTok, to be quite honest, where we actually just debunk MAGA in real time, and we shut them down, and we got so many strategies for how we do it. All right, it really does mean a lot. A special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Like I said before, without you, this show wouldn't be entertaining, engaging, and definitely educational, all right? But also, I got to give one last round of booze and shame, and you know who these booze and shame go out to. This goes out to every single one of you Zeus haters out there who love to act like what I'm saying and what all of my wonderful friends who come up here and say the same thing is the truth, like to act like it's not the truth. And then you take it personal. When we talk about Donald Trump, you think we're talking directly about you. So that means your identity is tied to Donald Trump, right? And you don't realize that that's really not what's the issue right now. The issue is you're on your way somewhere very nasty, dark, hot. And unfortunately, that's where you will be for the eternity unless you truly, truly repent. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send these Trump supporters back to where they came from, straight to hell.
Silence, you matter daily.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. I'll see you tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. Have a great rest of your morning. Let's go. W. Nina. W. This guy is still talking on TV. Give me a break. Thank you, Q-Dog, Petey, thank you. Let's go, JGA Creations, Cindy. Let's go, Tara. What a great show. W. Zena. Let's go, let's go. Mega has failed. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hard, W, hard. Appreciate it. Trump is the worst president. Yep. And his supporters are deep state soldiers. Let's go. Let's go. Have a great rest of your morning. You guys got me working overtime. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. The Epstein curse is going to take him down. I agree, JTA. Love you all, seriously. Keep up the great work. Shout out to Illinois. W, and you see the wings? Oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. We'll do drill baby drill tomorrow. We'll do drill baby drill tomorrow. Alright? You guys are really doing it to me. AJ, thank you all. Seriously. Hey brother, no problem, Joe. Don't say boo. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, stay safe out here in these TikTok.